Then you can change positions. I can actually come to a better advantage. And so
Do you want me to throw this out during the interviews? You make me feel so stupid coming in here. It's like you guys were talking shit or something. I flew halfway across the globe. You asked me to come. Oh yeah, and then you acted like a dick in front of your friend. Don't call me next time. Please, Don, come. I'm lonely.
I'm trying to focus. It has nothing to do with you.
Can you say hello to me? You don't even have time to say hello to me.
I just don't want to fight. Not now.
Would it be easier if I punched you in the face?
Yes, punch me in the face.
Could we communicate
punch
then?
Me in the face. Punch me in the face. The biggest night of my life. Punch me in the face. Come in.
The Smashing Machine is a film by director Ben Safdie that's based on a documentary also called The Smashing Machine, The Life of Mark Kerr. This is the first time I ever do a movie review, and I want to make sure I don't miss any details, but it feels kind of weird because this movie is based on a real-life documentary about, it's kind of like a tragic underdog story. And, you know, he's still alive and well, you know, he never passed away, he never got really injured to that extent, but it's weird because this is a man's real life, you know, so
I'm gonna take that in consideration.
There will also be heavy spoilers for this review. I don't know if that we could even call them spoilers because I feel like this story has been told so many times, but fair warning. First, I wanted to talk about several scenes that I really, really liked in the film. For example, when we come into the film, it's through like a camcorder. It's Mark introducing himself through The Rock, of course. He's about to go into this fight. It's his debut fight. And there's this song by Masayoshi Takanaka that's playing that is so, so good. And I was surprised that they put it in there, but it makes sense because it's the 90s. But you just have this feeling, the guitar solo, it goes with like this feeling that he really is this unstoppable machine that everybody is saying he is, you know? And shortly after, he gives this post-fight interview, or I think it's just an interview in general that's afterwards, that he's talking about how bottling up your emotions and having things that are like breaking you down on the inside can really, really affect your fighting, and you got to get it under control. He compares it to having a flashlight versus a laser pointer. You know, you need to be like spot on. You can't just have your emotions going all over the place, which is one of his main conflicts. So that's like a really well done way. And also, that's just a real interview, so it just kind of like showed where he was mentally, I guess. And a few scenes later, we have this scene where there's a love song playing. I forgot how it goes, but it's like, I need you, I love you. Real 90s, 80s. And he's looking for some opioid injection around the house to inject himself, and it goes a little bit into his drug abuse. And it is the uglier side of drug abuse. They don't go too into it, but they really wanted to focus more on Mark Kerr's deficiencies more than his partner, because his partner, that's played by Emily Blunt, Dawn, also had drug abuse, which is like alcoholism, and then she had a lot of anger issues, which you can tell throughout the film, but they really more focused on him. Now, another scene that was really powerful and revealed Mark's inner psyche was his first loss in Japan. After this match, his opponent does an illegal move, but they don't count it as a no contest at first. It's a win. And Mark's extremely upset naturally and gets off in a rush and goes to talk to a fight commissioner and tells him about it. And they say to him they're going to work on it, they're going to see. And he's just very visibly upset, and he's this hulking figure that's all, you know, big and sweaty. And he's like hulking around, walking to his locker room. And you just think at any moment he's going to hit somebody or break something, because he's like walking through and you can tell he's visibly upset. He's pissed, and he's walking. He goes to his locker room, and to everyone's surprise, he just breaks down and cries. You know, I just don't think he knows what to do. He doesn't know what to do with himself if he can't win. It's his first loss. He doesn't know what it's like to lose, right? And the way they filmed this movie, it's like we're not supposed to be seeing any of this. It's such intimate scenes of these people's lives that it's like we're not supposed to be seeing this. It's just way too personal and intimate, but you're there, and it's powerful. A lot of these scenes, you know, you do feel them. I'm going to share this quick clip of Benny Safdie talking about shooting this scene and why these little things are so important.
A conversation of two people who aren't actually saying what they are talking about, which I just find interesting, because then you have to read into the subtext and also the parts of their performance that are different.
And you had that feeling, you thought you had the feeling, but you don't seem happy about it.
No. I'm trying to explain it to you, but you just keep talking.
Yeah, it's so raw. She goes, but you did that. You just experienced that. And then that move. When Dwayne did that, that just became, I was like, oh my, it's so dismissive. As we did the scene a couple of times, I didn't like that it was so clean. And I wanted to remind the viewer that you are in a real place. And so this guy comes from literally down the hallway here, and he just blocks the frame.
It really makes you question how this movie bombed at the box office, because this had a budget of $50 million, this movie, and it only really made, I think, 20 million worldwide, and that's not including like marketing expenses to promote the film and everything. And it's like, just like, wow, like how, like, you know, but I really applaud these directors, this casting crew, to like make films like these, because they're taking a risk, and at times it doesn't pay off, but they make something that's artistically really, really good. You know, it's not just another reboot from the 80s or a film that everybody loves and it gets a 5th sequel. You know, it's just like something original and something that's really, really well done. A big conflict in this film as well is the relationship between Don and Mark. There's this small scene, I'm not sure if I'm reading into it too much, but there's a small scene where he's in Japan, Mark, and he's killing time. He's just shopping around, looking around, and he's buying some things that are really nice. And then he buys his girlfriend this random little thing, and he tells the shop owner, like, oh, it's for my girlfriend, you know, she loves colors. And I'm like, this is the most generic detail you could say about your partner, like that just, I think, is an example of how like distant they are and how they don't really know each other that well. And there's this other scene where Don is making him a protein shake, and he's just like, oh no, that's not, I don't drink skim milk anymore. I'll make it myself, don't worry. And he throws it away, and he just makes it himself. Then they go sit down, and he doesn't want the cat on the couch. It kind of shows him that as well, that Mark is this kind of like this really uptight person and kind of an asshole. But I think that's, you know, it shows both of these people's inner problems and, you know, imperfections. So that's fine. The performances in this film were really, really, really well done. To start off, of course, with Emily Blunt. I mean, in any role she's in, she kills it, and in this one it's no different. Even though it's a co-lead, she does it really well, and the American accent is spot on. I mean, there's not really much I can say besides the fact that she plays her character very convincingly. It's one thing when an actor is good, and another thing when you kind of lose yourself and you're like, oh wait, that's actually, yeah, it's Emily Blunt, hold up. Another thing that I think they got done really well, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but it's such a minor detail that you wouldn't think of it. It's that all the UFC guys fit in so well. The cauliflower ears, their build and everything. Their performances are really well done there. And then I believe the actor's name is Ryan, but Mark Kerr's best friend, that is also like his number one supporter and a really, really good friend in the film, is like also a UFC guy, and he just has the look of cauliflower ears. They look tough, and they have this certain build. The relationship between Mark Kerr and Mark Coleman feels extremely genuine as well. Like, you believe he is his best friend and he is willing to be there in the highs and the lows. You know, the relationship is extremely genuine. Now, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who played Mark Kerr. I wanted to talk about some of his negative parts of his performance that I personally found before I get into the positives. I personally, in a lot of his fights, I don't know if it's just a choreography thing or it's him, but he just seems so stiff, and I just don't feel the impact of his hits whenever I saw it in the film. So I don't know, it just felt a little off for me. And I realize The Rock is a bit older now, so it doesn't take me too much out of the film, but that's one thing I really noticed for me, myself at least. And then another thing. Hello? Okay, look, I was gonna make a fight scene where I fight The Rock. It would have been shot creatively. And yeah, but I just don't have the time. School is kicking my butt right now, and I have too many jobs at the moment, or work is just keeping me busy. So there's just no way if I want to make this video under 30 minutes. So enjoy this.
Hey, Rock, you suck.
Well, that's not very nice.
It doesn't matter what you think!
Well, yes it does, because you're on my channel.
Not even have the class to introduce yourself.
He's got a
What
point.
is your name?
I'm Gardiel Garcia. Nice to meet you, I guess.
It doesn't matter what your name is!
Oh yeah? Well, guess what? Your movie tanked at the box office. The worst in your career.
Good
And guess what? Your performance didn't make me feel anything.
Doesn't matter how it makes you feel!
So getting back into the video, I really do feel like The Rock is more of a brand than a person at times in these interviews. And when he's doing a lot of press for them, it doesn't feel genuine, and it's kind of like a whatever, you know? But with this film, it does seem like it's special. It is different, you know? Like, it seems like he is being himself and expressing what he feels like. But a lot of the time, that's not the case, you know? And I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but like, I think The Rock's a pretty decent actor. I just do think he's getting a lot of roles that make money and get people to, you know, their butts in seats at the movies. So like, I think it's time that The Rock does a different side of himself. And if he really is serious about, you know, being an actor and not just getting a dumb trophy at the Oscars, like, then okay, that's great. You know, I'd like to see what he has, because like, I came out of this movie kind of a Rock fan, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta see what else he has. But then I know what he has. It's, you know, a bunch of these like action movies that he plays the same character in. So I'm glad he's like doing something different. A lot of his earlier career stuff was also pretty good. You know, I liked it. But regarding this film, I really do think his emotion was conveyed very well with a lot of weight. And you can tell like he's like a man that's kind of like burdened with something really deep inside himself. And he struggles with his own actions and thoughts, and I mean, his environment really affects his fighting, and you believe that, you know, it's really convincing, and The Rock did a great job here, honestly. The writing in this story is also really, really well done. I feel like there's a bunch of little phrases and dialogue that's said and scenes that I can't really cover because there's not footage to explain, but you know, there's a lot of scenes that are really well done. There's a scene where Don and Mark are in the locker room talking, and they just don't understand each other. The clip that Ben Safdie was talking about earlier. It's such a good scene because it seems like Mark knows exactly what he feels like when it comes to fighting, but when it comes to his personal relationship with a real person, with his girlfriend, you know, that he lives with and shares his life with, it's like they don't understand each other, like barely. It's crazy, you know. And the dialogue is very well done there. There's also this small scene where Mark and Dawn are on a date at the fair, like the carnival, and there's this car crashes going on. It's part of a show, you know, it's like car fighting, I guess you could say. And Mark is having this like anxious reaction to it because like it's such a violent sport, and these cars keep ganging up on this one car, and it just seems really, really dangerous. And it'll cut between a hit of the car, then back to Mark, a hit of the car, and back to Mark, and it's getting closer and closer, and you feel like this anxiety building up in Mark. Honestly, the more I think about it, it's like the car that's getting ganged up on represents him, you know. He's the outsider in the situation, and when he's outside of the ring, like all of his actions are kind of, it's completely different than being inside the ring. Inside the ring, he's like rewarded and everybody applauds him and everybody loves him, but outside the ring he's dealing with an unhealthy relationship. He has unhealthy habits, painkillers, declining career, I guess you could say. But in the ring, everything's controlled, you know. And I really do think the car represents him the more that I think about it. I just couldn't put it into words, I guess. But yeah, and it just really hit him there from an outside perspective. Like, he's watching himself. Crazy. In conclusion, I really do feel like this movie was well done. My only complaints were, I feel like the story wasn't progressing as well as I wish it would have. It felt kind of repetitive. And the main complaint I have that I tell people to know without spoiling the film is that I wish there was more. You want to see more. Like, we've already seen so much personal stuff, but we want to see the good ending. We want to see him grow old with a wife and kids and everything. We want to see more of his life, you know. But we saw just a good part of it and where he was struggling and growing as a person. And, you know, thank God he left the career in MMA without, you know, a lot of injuries, and happy to an extent. And, you know, everything kind of worked out at the end. You know, there's a documentary and a movie about him, so I think he's doing pretty well for himself. But great film, honestly. I applaud Benny Safdie, Emily Blunt, The Rock, everybody that's a part of this film. Really, really good job. I wish they would do more. If I would have to give this a numerical rating, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Honestly, really good flick. I just wish there was more. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I know it's kind of all over the place, but it's my first time, and I didn't realize how tedious it was to make videos like this. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more, let me know, and I definitely will make it happen. Thank you guys so much, and see you later. Until next time.